Hi, welcome back to Mr. Chemistry. This is Gases Combined Gas Law Introduction. Well, what is the combined gas law? Well, the combined gas law was discovered in the early 1800s, and we're not really sure who discovered it. But what we do know is that the gas law combines Boyle's law, Gay-Lussac's law, and Charles' law. Because remember that Boyle's law is P1V1 equals P2V2, where temperature is the constant. And Charles' law is V1T2 equals V2T1, where pressure is the constant. And Gay-Lussac's law is P1T2 equals P2T1, where the constant is the volume. Well, someone came up with the idea, why don't we just combine all three laws to make P1 V1 over T1 equals P2 V2 over T2. Well, that's fractional. So the brain likes to read from left to right? So it's better to read it as P1 V1 T2 equals P2 V2 T1. And as with any other mathematical formula, you're going to have variance. So if you just want to find pressure 1, it would be P2 V2 T1 over V1 T2. You want to find volume 1, simply going to be P2 V2 T1 over P1 T2. You want to find temperature 2, it equals P2 V2 T1 over P1 V1. If you want to find pressure 2, it equals P1 V1 T2 over V2 T1. If you want to find volume 2, it's P1 V1 T2 over P2 T1. And if you want to find temperature 1, it's P1 V1 T2 over P2 V2. It's also important to remember that temperature should always be kept in Kelvin. And if you can change atmospheres, you can change volume, but your temperature really needs to be in Kelvin. But when we get to the ideal gas law, you're going to want to use atmospheres and Kelvin as your units. Well, that's it for this lesson. If you like this video, give us a like and consider subscribing so we can grow this channel. You guys be snarly. I will see you back here at Mr. Chemistry.